Hey YouTube, I'm Balakai, and today I'm going to be ranking what is my favorite Pokemon games, or like the ones that how I see them in the tier rankings, right? Uh, and going over a little bit of into my reasons for it, and not just like, oh hey, this was fun, nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia. Because if it was purely on nostalgia, then up until a couple years ago it would have been like, oh, gold, put Pokemon Silver up here, and it's like, yeah, but then there's other things to take into consideration, like the leveling curve and the balancing and all that kind of stuff, and it's objectively not that great of a game, but it was fun at the time, right? So I'm gonna break it down. First off, let's start with the games that either aren't out yet or I haven't played. I'm gonna put right here in the NA, for obvious reasons. So this isn't out yet. Hopefully it looks like it's going to be interesting. We got Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl. It's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I believe. So yeah, that's fun. Screwed that one up. Haha. Anyway, I'll put those there because obviously I haven't played them because they're not out yet as of time of recording. And let's see, I've never played Ultra Sun and Moon, and we'll get to the reason why here in a moment. And are there any others that I haven't played? I think that might be it of the games that oh no, I never played Crystal. I have no good reason for why I've never played Crystal. But for one reason or another, never really played Pokemon Crystal. With that said, I do plan to play it. Or actually, I want to play Pokemon Crystal Kaizo over on Twitch. Which, speaking of which, I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday over on Twitch. It is Balakai21. Drop by, check it out. Let me know, say what's up. Let me know how things are going. Let me know what you think of the content. So, let's get back to this. Starting with red, blue, and yellow. From a pure nostalgic point, yellow would rank high for me because it was my first game. As weird as that may sound, I did not play red and blue until later on. It was Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy Color was my first Pokemon game. So with that, we'll go with, they're good, right, for what they are. They lack a lot of features, as, that's first generation. But as far as just overall, just challenge, things that I think go into it, I still think, for the most part, I would say B for these, right? Maybe... Let's move that down. Let's fix that. That's bad. Let's put add a roll below. Maybe a B minus, right? I don't think they're C tier games. I don't think that they're like, because C tier to me would be like it's mediocre. I think for their time, they're still good. There's a lot of different things that are different about them, but I still think that they're good. I think, and this might get me some grief, but I think Yellow, at least for me, was a little bit more challenging just because you started with Pikachu. Yes, as you go on, you get, you do get the other starters, which I guess makes it more difficult, or easier, I should say. But I think that the early game, like getting to Brock is a pain in this game until you get, was it double kick? Like, you have to do some grinding. Like, it's not super difficult or anything, but I would say that it was just a little bit more enjoyable than these two for that reason. But I'm willing to accept the little bit of flack I'll get for that. Gold and silver. Oof. From a pure nostalgia point, I used to love these games, right? But with some of the Pokemon in it don't seem like they're not that great. I love that there's tons of gyms, but I think that the problem that the problem that I have with them is that just the pure level curve of it is frustrating and kind of atrocious. And then the level gap between the Kanto region gyms and when you take on, I think, was it blue or red at the end? That's a big leap. So for that, I think I'm gonna put them in C. Personally, I don't think they're terrible, but I would say they're mediocre games. I feel like there's gonna be a lot in this region right in here, personally, but I don't know. Ruby and Sapphire. I think Ruby and Sapphire, they're good, right? But I think Emerald took it a step further, and like as far as like nuzlocking and all that kind of stuff, I think Emerald is arguably either A, or I would probably maybe even put it here. It's a rebalancing. I enjoy the game. It's definitely got a lot more challenge to it. I haven't nuzlocked it yet. That's on my list of things to do as well. But from the way everybody reveres it, it seems like it's one of the better games for that as well. I think just overall and balancing, I'll put it in 8s here for now. You know what though? You know what? I think I will put it S because I think while these are good, I think Fire Red and Leaf Green, with the addition of newer mechanics and some of the things that it fixed, made these ones better. Or it probably brought them up to a B. It made them better. It's tempting. Diamond and Pearl. This is probably my favorite generation, honestly, and I think that they're pretty solid. Platinum, man, I think Platinum is one of the best Pokemon games that they've made. I don't think there's a need for an S plus row personally, but I think that Pokemon Platinum is one of the best balanced games. As far as progression rate goes, challenge, it's fun to play normally. It's fun to nuzlocke. I think it's an S-class game. I think that that's probably one of the best games that they've made. And I think that this generation in general, I think, is pretty good. Because it still has a similar challenge. I just think the balance was a little bit better in this one with gym leaders and whatnot. AI tweaks. Then you have Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I think are above this, right? I would, oh man, there's still similar problems, but with the changes, I think it at least bumps it up beyond mediocre, right? I think that it's a better than average game. It's not great by any means, but I think that they at least get bumped to the B- category. I think that with the addition of new moves, abilities, it's at least more fun, I guess, is a better way to say it. Then you have, did they just like forget that white exists? Oh, there it is. How did it end up all the way over here? All right, so black and white. These are good games, right? Man, it's tempting to put there like an A-, but I would say Black and White, and honestly, Black and White 2. This entire generation right here, at least for me, in my opinion, best generation so far. I think that the overall progression of the game, the mechanics of the game, having rotation battles and the pacing of it, the Pokemon that it introduced, the world, the immersiveness of the world. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the slight tweaks that they had with bringing in a sequel to it, which isn't normal, or at least at the time was not normal for a lot of these games. They do like an offshoot, and they're like, you have Emerald and you have Platinum, and they're a little bit different. But I think that this generation having an actual direct sequel, I really enjoyed that. Especially for games that I already really enjoyed, and I think that it was a turning point right around in the time of like me as a gamer, or as a Pokemon gamer. This is around the time frame that I actually started trying to breed up Pokemon and make more competitive teams. I never, played VGC or anything like that. I think it'd be awesome to eventually get into that, but it definitely made me take the game more serious. And I don't know, I think it ages well. It's still a lot of fun to play. I think that one is a really good game. X and Y. So personally, I really like these games. But I'm also a believer that they're too easy. The Elite Four is a joke. This is around the time it seems like they started making your rivals. I mean, this is where they introduced one of your rivals having like right in here is where they introduced rivals having a Pokemon that's like weak to your starter. But like this one, there's too many rivals. Although I do like that you actually move through certain parts of the game with like your friends or your rivals, and it has those story elements on like, these games where like your rival just teleports to you and it's like, oh hey, I've been here this whole time. Ha 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 ha. They're not annoying, but there are too many. I think just because of how easy it is, I'm putting him. I hate doing it. You know what? They're definitely better than gold and silver. I'll put them here. I think that's fair. Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. I like them, but they somehow made this generation, or sorry, this generation here, and everything they did here, and they made it too damn easy. They give you everything. Like, they're giving you, hey, here's Latios or Latias, and hey, you can fly around the map. You don't need, like, I don't know. They somehow managed to make the game, while being good and adding mega evolutions to to third generation stuff, you still made it too easy. And I don't know. I think that just, I don't want to say I don't know. I'm going to put them here. I like them, but damn, are they just, you somehow made it just lesser than the originals in a way. Ooh, this brings me to this freaking generation right here. These two, right? I haven't played Ultra Sun and Moon. And there's a reason. Because this is the only generation I never finished. I never beat the game. And I was so frustrated with these games. There's too much tutorial. It is too railroaded. I understand that it's more like some of the fights are more challenging and there are aspects of it that are good, but the problem for me is it shouldn't take like 30-40 minutes to get to the actual game, and the fact that like it just felt like there was no exploration, and it was just the game allowing me to move from each of its plot points, that it was already predetermined. It was gonna happen no matter what. Didn't matter what I did, where I went. Yes, Pokemon games are linear, but this felt forced, so forced. And I've tried multiple times to play them and still have not gotten through. And they frustrate the ever living hell out of me. And objectively, I have to put them probably here, right? At least because despite my opinions, they're still liked by people. So maybe I'll add a row above. All right, and we'll call it C+, right? So I'll account for I don't know where that row. Oh, why did it do that? Add a row above. There we go. We'll just change it here. That's fun. So we'll put them here because there are a lot of good things about them from what people say. I personally haven't seen it other than like, carrying over some of the mechanics of X and Y, and like competitively, I've heard the balancing is good. But as far as gameplay for games, man, I don't like them. And if I was being completely subjective, 100% subjective, I would dump them in F tier and never look at them again. But to be objective, I think they're fine. Like, I think they're all like, they at least they should be there. These, I'm sorry. These I think are D tier. While they're a decent turn your brain off kind of game, I don't even know what the hell this is. I honestly don't know what that is. So I just am gonna put it there. I don't recognize it. Sorry. These two, the problem that I have with them, right? One, they're so damn easy, and I understand that they're supposed to be an entry level game that is supposed to introduce. They wanted to pull the Pokemon Go community into Pokemon, and I understand that was the goal. That's the purpose of these games. So I don't hate them. I actually like them, right? For the most part, like they're a chill, turn your brain off, don't care about a game. But as far as like Pokemon as a greater whole and objectively, they're a worse version of the original, and they made the game too easy. It's actually, you could beat the game with just Pikachu or Eevee, and I think that's kind of obnoxious. I don't know. That to me is a problem. Sword and Shield. Oh boy. I enjoyed them. I thought they were alright. The story has its problems. Hop is one of the... I personally think Hop and Bede or Bede or however you pronounce it are like two of the worst rivals of all time. Marnie I liked, but those two, Hop is just annoying and way too obsessed with his brother. And the way they present him, just like popping in everywhere. I don't know. And then B-Day as a character is just obnoxious. And I get that's the point of the character, is to be arrogant and obnoxious to an extent, and they even kind of draw attention to it within the character. But that doesn't mean that it's like fun. doesn't make the encounters fun. It just means that you gave me somebody who just annoys the hell out of me. So I think that hurts the story. And generic, like, global resources, blah blah blah, insert energy crisis story here. But as a whole, mechanically and everything, I think they're B. I think they're good. I don't think they're great, and I don't think that they're like the best games of the series. I think they're all right. They're a decent play. There's some good features about them. There's decent changes. Uh, but overall, I think that's fair. So, but yeah, well, those are my thoughts. That's how I feel about it. Though that's how I view the games. If you disagree, if you agree, let me know. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. But that will be it for me. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Show some love. And remember, I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday over on Twitch at Balakai21. And drop by.